There's a meme going around at the moment of a penguin breaking away from its group and walking towards the mountain, and that really resonates with me. Because from the outside, this might look a little bit reckless. A lot of people might look at my situation and say, hey, he lost his job, he panicked and decided to build a golf app. And if that was the story, I would 100% agree with you. But that is not the risk I'm taking here. I'm walking towards the mountain. I've had some messages recently, some supportive, some confused, and some from people just asking me if I was okay. And honestly, that question lives rent-free in my head. This isn't sensible, this isn't the smart move. I've got no income, no audience, and no safety net. And from the outside, it looks like I'm risking money, time, and stability. And I suppose I am. But you see, that's not the real risk. You see, something else happened when I lost my job that I didn't expect. It should have been obvious, but it wasn't. And that was that I became a stay-at-home dad, and that was amazing. Life slowed down. No more trying to sound switched on at God knows what o'clock when I'm on a phone call with the US or Australia, and no more meetings about other meetings. Instead, I was at home. I was doing the packed lunches. I was doing the school runs, doing the homework, doing the normal stuff. And weirdly, I started feeling useful again, not because of the money I was making, but because I was making an impact. My relationship with my kids changed, not in some big dramatic way, but in quiet moments, being present, being consistent, being around. Hundreds of extra little moments that would never have happened if I was working till 8 o'clock or traveling with work. You see, they didn't really care that I was there now. They didn't care that I wasn't on phone calls anymore. They just cared that I showed up, that I hung out, that I played games with them. And that messes with your head in a great way, because it makes you ask the question, who am I when I'm not my job? Last year knocked the wind out of me. I'm not going to pretend it didn't. But I didn't realize at the time that I was burnt out, that I was lost, and I didn't know what version of me was going to come next. See, my identity was wrapped up in being the provider, the person to go to, the one with all the answers. And suddenly I wasn't any of those things anymore. So I coped by playing golf, and I finally had the space to think. That's uncomfortable, but it's also clarifying. And somewhere in that space, I realized something really important. The biggest risk wasn't me failing. The biggest risk was me going back to a life that wasn't me, that didn't allow me to be what I wanted to be. The biggest risk was me going back to something that looked successful, but really took me away from all the things that meant the most to me. The risk was teaching my kids that work comes first, presence is optional, and that the safe risk is the only risk I should be taking. The risk was having an idea, one that I was incredibly passionate about, one I believe could connect people and grow the sport I love, but then never actually trying to see if I could make it happen. Skratchr isn't a panic project. It's focused, it's deliberate. It's very echoey in here. See, Skratchr is something I've thought about for such a long time. It's ultimately how I want to live. It's all the characteristics that I want to model. It's about connection. It's about showing up. It's about playing more golf. So here's the truth. I don't know how big this gets. I don't know if it'll be successful, and I don't know where it ends. But I do know this. I've never been more present, more aligned, or more myself in years. And that matters. So yeah, from the outside, this might look a little bit reckless. This might look a little bit risky, and yeah, I might fail. But I think the real risk would have been going back to 60-hour weeks, going back to planes and the office and midnight calls. And that's the risk I'm no longer willing to take. God, that was a bad idea. Okay, I mean, what's the worst case scenario here? The idea falls flat in its face. Nobody signs up, nobody engages, and the app dies a slow death. And if that happens, at least I'll have tried. At least I'll have taken the punt. I'll have no regrets, no what-if moments. But I'll also have learned so much. I will have learned how to start a business. I will have learned how to operate a business. I will have learned how to use a complete suite of different creators tools, how to turn ideas in my head into actual visualizations, which I just find so cool. And even if only 500 people sign up, engage, connect, and play more golf, that's still impact. That's still something to be proud of. And to be honest, that'll make all of this more of a success. So if you've ever thought, what if you've ever thought that you've wanted to be that penguin walking towards the mountain, then subscribe to this channel and let's go on this journey together. And let me know what your mountain project is. Either way, thank you for walking this path with me. I know there's a long way to go, but I know for the first time in a long time, I'm going in the right direction.